Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It doesn't cost you anything, right? It's totally free. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have the Prince of Cups. This is air and water. This is heart and mind. This is, I think, someone who's trying to live authentically, right? Trying to become the best version of themselves. Let's put this into some context, right? This could be a water sign person in your life. Here we've got the Seven of Pentacles. This is telling me that whatever work you're involved in, you're not giving up. I think you have experienced some setbacks. Now, this could be, for some of you, this might be a romantic thing. But let's hold out our judgment. A lot of court cards here. Now we have the air, right, and water. And this card also is kind of air and water. So for a lot of you, there could be, it really could be maybe an air sign person in your life. Now that I'm thinking about it. And we've got the Two of Cups there at the end. This is very interesting. We're seeing we're seeing some opposite things here. Now, we're going to select the mystery card, and then I'm going to explain what I mean here. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're just going to set it down right here. We're going to put Tiny Bob Ross right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will give us the confirmation that we need. It will tie everything together. Yeah. And if at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is or you have an idea, put your prediction down in the comments. All right. Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. All right. You're here. I might as well put you to work. All right. Let's take a look at this now because we've got some interesting major arcana cards. We've got the Lovers, right? Commitment. We've got the Sun, right? Which is, in some ways, the Sun is individuality, right? And then now we kind of have this card of blending, balance. This is the Art or Temperance card, right? This is the card of kind of knowing each extreme so well that you can put them together in a way that works, right? So this reading, for some of you, is going to be very much a romance reading. Right now, I like to say that these are life readings, okay? I don't do career readings. I don't do romance readings. I do life readings, yeah. For some of you, this might really relate and resonate with a romantic partner, a potential romantic partner, someone I think who's very different from you, yeah. We see this kind of split between the water and the air, right? And this to me is kind of feeling, it's giving me this feeling that, there's one of you is very much emotional, very much trying to be sensitive, very empathic, right? Very in touch with your feelings, very expressive of your feelings. And the other is a little bit more closed off emotionally, a little bit more intellectual, right? We kind of have a heart and a mind. And we see that here with the Art or Temperance card. Thinking and feeling need to be united. And even with the Six of Swords, right? So for those of you that this is resonating in a romantic way, it feels like you and this other person are very different from each other, right? And here in the middle of things with this Prince of Cups, I think this is you really trying to understand things from their point of view. You're making the effort, right? You're showing that you care by trying to understand the other point of view, trying to see things from their side, trying to understand kind of how they see the world or how they think. Yeah. And this is part of your love and compassion, right? This is empathy. Yeah, putting yourself in their shoes, trying to feel what they feel or think how they think, to understand them better, to be able to relate better to them. Okay. For some of you, this is very much the case. And for those that do resonate with it this way, I think it's going to be very successful. I think your efforts here, while you may feel like you're not getting anywhere, like you may feel like you just can't get through to this person, right? Because you're all feeling and emotion, they're all thinking and doing the math on it. Well, I think what's going to happen is that both of you are going to realize that that is really a perfect match, right? Because we have the Two of Cups here at the end. This is love. This is a one-on-one, soulmate, true love kind of thing, right? And we see that blending of power here. It could be that the two of you together are like this unstoppable kind of power couple, right? Because there's one very sensitive, maybe very intuitive. The other one's more logical, right? Can really take things apart and figure them out, you know? So it seems like it's a very good match. But there's this idea of communication that needs to be established. We need that corpus callosum, right? We need the left and the right brains, hemispheres to connect and share information, right? And the problem really is that both of you will look at something like a Seven of Pentacles and think, you know, that's really terrible. That is not progress. That's not growth. Nothing is growing here. This is a failure. And the other one will look at this and think, wow, this really has a lot of potential. You know, it's kind of the way they word like real estate advertisements or something, you know. The house is really tiny today. It's a cozy house. It's different perspectives. And you and this person may never look at the same thing and see it the same way. But why would you want to? You know? You look at things from one angle and you think, okay, I can see the potential here. Maybe if I put a little more water in it, you know, a little bit more soil, give it some more sunlight, this would be all right. And then the other person might say, okay, well, hey, I've checked the pH of the soil. This soil's got to go, right? It's kind of like one of you is going to give more love. The other one's going to kind of give love, but in a different way, right? Left brain, right brain kind of thing. Both working together, right? Seeing things from different angles. And that way, together, there's even more data, right? If you had a bunch of scientists and they were all looking at the same, I don't know, microbe or something, and they all said the same thing about it, then why the heck do you need so many scientists? Just get one, right? You want people with differing opinions. You want someone that can look at an object like my Mr. Tao, the Yin Yang Duck. One of you will see the white, the light colors, you know, and one will see the shade, the dark colors, the black colors, right? One of you will see a white horse with black stripes. The other will see a black horse with white stripes. We want those different perspectives. That gives us a more complete picture of what's going on in life, right? So this might not be romance for some of you. For some of you, this is all taking place within your own soul, right? This is the way that we're trying to get our heart and our mind, our own thinking and feeling functions married together, united in this strategic, balanced way. We've got all these ideas of the balance here, right? We've got thinking and feeling. We've got the commitment, the union, the marriage of these two. We've got the functional marriage of these two. This is how it works out in practice, right, with the Six of Swords. And this shows our strategy for the way forward. And then the sun is kind of the difficulty here. And the difficulty is trying to figure out how to allow both individuals to grow in their own way, but still also grow together, right? So the Seven of Pentacles, what is this? Well, this is your idea that this communication, this relationship is just not working, right? And for some of you, this is really, there's another person there, and you just can't seem to communicate, can't seem to get on the same page, okay? And again, it's because you're both seeing things from a different perspective. So we could try to not look at that as an obstacle and look at that as an advantage. Okay. For some of you, this is going to be the idea that you've got these deep desires, right? This water energy, this heart, this intuition, this love, this empathy and compassion, this real dream for something. And then you've got this kind of logical mind that's just saying, well, it's not really practice. It's not really a feasible feeling that we have here, you know? So we're trying to mesh that together. We're trying to have this kind of marriage. And the Lover's card is that marriage, and this is underneath everything. And this is the commitment that we have. We don't want to give up on this because this feels it's either something that is obviously very fundamental to our being, right? We can't get rid of our heart. We can't get rid of our mind. This is also your commitment to this other person. If for some of you this is resonating as a kind of one-on-one connection. We're choosing to continue trying, right? We're choosing to continue trying. And that means we have to just kind of focus on more strategy, let's try different things. Let's experiment, right? In the future here, we've got the Queen of Wands. This is water and fire, right? Which, again, kind of with the water and fire here in that art or temperance card. This is almost the idea that this apparent duality, this apparent split, is really something that will be fused together in this kind of passion of experience, right? It's almost a card that says, let's stop struggling. Let's just go experience each other, experience the world. Let's not try to force things together so much. Let's just let them be. And I think the heat of passion and the fire of experience and consciousness is eventually going to reconcile these differences. It's almost like we can't communicate effectively. I can't use my heart to talk to your head, right? So let's just bypass those and let's communicate with passion, with experience, through consciousness, you know? It's almost kind of telepathically, right? So I feel like this is us learning through experience rather than trying to sit down and have a conversation because, again, you communicate in different ways. So in the environment, these two cards are connected, the fire and the water. In the environment, we have the art or temperance card. And this is kind of saying just you kind of have to throw yourself out there into the environment, into the fire, and just adapt, right? And the two of you, whether it's your own heart and mind or if it's you and this other person, out here in the world, experiencing the world, things will come together. Things tend to get melted and fused together in this furnace of experience. Yeah. And for a lot of you, this is literally like the passion. This is the way we could look at this is the two of you can't decide on what to have for dinner, right? One of you feels something, you can't really even talk about it, right? Because one of you is kind of logical, the other one just says, I really feel like having, sushi or whatever. This is the idea of to just go into the kitchen together and just start pulling ingredients out and just let it be an experience. Let it be an experiment rather than something that we have to talk about first, right? And the same thing if this is, a romantic relationship. Through the experience of being together, you'll come to appreciate over time, right? It might not be instantaneous. You'll come to appreciate the different viewpoints. the different way. They have a different way of looking at things than you do. And that's okay. It's more than okay. It's actually, I think, a very welcomed, preferred reality. We've got the Six of Swords here. Now we're going to move to the path of the serpent. And as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Okay? It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And leave some comments for me. I really do enjoy reading all the comments. Lately, I've been enjoying hearing about where all of you are watching from, because we have viewers from all over the world, and it's really fascinating to to read all of that. So anyway, the Six of Swords is in your general energy, and this is one way of looking at the path of the dove stuff. And this is, in some ways, this is the idea that the logical mind must follow the passions, must follow the heart, right? That our intellect is there to assist our intuition, to assist our heart, to assist our unconscious, to assist us in manifesting the dreams, right? To creating this kind of marriage, this kind of union that is going to work, right? To make this thing productive, to water this plant in such a way that it's going to grow and flourish and thrive. Maybe this will be, this might be the Eight of Pentacles over here. So with the Six of Swords, it is definitely a union of heart and mind. And now for some of you, this is really going to be the kind of the acceptance of what the heart wants. You know, the saying, the heart wants what the heart wants. Well, that's fine. And then the mind really is the one that has to kind of map out the plan, right? Has to plot the course. Yeah. And that's kind of what this card is about. Traditionally, this card is about journeys by water, right? Sea voyages, right? Ocean navigation. So this is the map. You know, this is kind of the blueprint. This is the kind of life that you can imagine when your thinking and your feeling functions are together, united, right? It's not enough to have the dream. We then have to figure out how to make the dream a reality. What has to come first, the plan or the dream itself? You know, the desire, the impulse, the will, right? The soul of the thing. Well, I think the soul comes first. For those of you that are in that this is a romantic situation, I think the union in this card really shows that the two of you will begin to understand each other on a deeper level, right? That it may not even be a spoken thing, right? It may not be very left-brained at all, or right-brained. It's something that is kind of transcendent, a spiritual level, right? A deeper connection, a deeper understanding. And it's a harmony of communication. The two of you will learn how to communicate, but perhaps not through, typical traditional means, right? And that's all part of the strategy here. This is a card that says when the two of you are in the kitchen, you're functioning as one unit. That's what they say about like any kind of a professional kitchen. You want it to function as one whole organism, right? Not separate individual organisms. And then there's just kind of chaos. Everybody's doing their own thing, bumping into each other, right? We're operating as one organism. At the same time, maintaining our individuality, maintaining your distinctions. You have to know where your thoughts are thoughts and where your feelings are feelings. But there has to be a union between the two. It has to function as one. It's only in the Western philosophies that the thinking and the feeling have been split into two separate functions. In the East, there's just the heart-mind. It's both, right? It is one structure that does both, and that kind of signifies, as does the yin-yang duck, as does the art or temperance card. Oh, that startled me. My cat is up there knocking things off of the dresser that's upstairs. She likes to do that when I'm filming. I don't know why. Anyway, sorry if that startled anybody. This is the realization that there aren't distinctions, that the thinking and the feeling contains the other, just as the symbol of yin yang. It's the black side and the white side, and there's the dot of the other color in each one. To show that we do tend to make these distinctions, but it's not cut and dry. Those distinctions don't actually exist. Thinking, the intellect becomes very dry, becomes very circular, and thankfully we don't have a lot of swords cards in this reading. If it's just intellect alone, it's nearly useless, right? It needs to have that little bit of water energy in it. Just like the water energy, we don't want to have nothing but water. We've got to have a little bit of that air energy in there, right? And I think that's really showing the interconnectedness of everything, and how, they used to believe that the left side of the brain controlled the right side of the body, the right side of the brain, the right hemisphere controlled the left side of the body, and that, certain functions like speech was only on the left side. Well, now I think they're starting to realize that's not the case, right? That there is redundancy, for one thing, and that everything is interconnected. Everything relies on everything else, for a more complete picture of what's going on. So for those of you, this December is very much about practical things, maybe a business, maybe building a home, maybe finding out how to follow your dream, how to create your dream, how to make progress in your life. Maybe it is a romance. Maybe we're trying to figure out how to get along, how to improve the relationship with our partner. Right? This is the month to do it. December is the month where you're going to, I think, get a more complete picture of what's going on. And the Sun card here, in the position of the obstacle, this is kind of the card we don't want. And this, again, I think, is the idea of too much individuality, too much distinction. Too much of this being separate is what we don't want. But we have to understand that the sun fuses elements together in its core. Right? It's not an individual, and then it means that there's no possibility of fusion, of interaction, or of connectedness. Right? That it cannot enter into combination with anything. This is the fire in which everything else enters into combination. This is the light of consciousness, But at the same time, we are retaining our individuality. We still know when we're thinking. We still know when we're feeling something. You don't want to think with your heart, and you don't want to feel with your brain. You don't want to get them completely mixed up. So we need to have individuality. And if this is a romance for some of you, you want them to be their own person. We're not trying to change them. Right? And we don't want to be changed. We want to perceive the world how we perceive the world. But if we could take a little bit of their energy into us, and they take a little bit of ours into them, then we create this massive, like, superorganism, right? That is greater than the sum of its parts. So the sun's a very important card, even though we're kind of worried about it, because in, I think, some ways it kind of feels as if we're growing apart. We're both growing in our own ways, and then we're able to grow together as well, right? And that is reinforced by the Two of Cups here at the end. We don't just stop at the Sun card. We've got this card next. And this is really the beauty of it all. This is the love. This is the true love. This is the union. This is the realization that both of you are kind of being nourished from the same source. See, these are two cups, but they're being filled from the same source. So the two of you may see things in a different way, but you both want the same things. Your heart and your mind may not agree on anything, but they both want the same things because they're both parts of you, obviously. It is your spirit, your will, your destiny. So take this how it resonates. For a lot of you, December is going to be the month of this romantic relationship is really improving. Now, it could be a friendship, right? Could be a relationship with a family member. Could be a relationship with a coworker even, with anybody. To me, it has a little bit of a romantic undertone, but it also has this very practical component to it. A lot of deeper understanding is going to be gained in December. It's going to be a very, very good month. Let's look at the mystery card, though, Taurus, all right? Thank you, Tiny Bob Ross. Okay, if you have an idea about this card, put it down in the comments, right? Use your heart or use your mind. Just, use both. Be spontaneous. Just say something. I don't know. I don't know what I feel on this one. It seems to me like what we have is already a pretty good combination, right? A pretty good mixture. Maybe we'll get another sun card. Right? 2 suns, 2 individuals, kind of a binary star system, right? Maybe we'll get the world or the universe, showing that this is a partnership that is kind of meant to travel together, right? There's one orbit, and the 2 of you are kind of meant to make this journey together. Or if it's heart and mind, that there's been some sort of internal reconciliation. Yeah. Let's just take a look. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, we've got the 8 of Pentacles. This is good. This is what I said a few minutes ago. I don't know if you remember. But I said maybe we get the 8 of Pentacles in the mystery card because we're figuring out how to make this thing work. And now we're working it, right? So it's as if, in your heart, that this could really be great, but your mind is saying, this thing is gone. We need to just start over. If this is a relationship, this is, someone that says, it's just not going to work. We just can't get on the same page. But then there's this other side of it that says, well, it feels right. We can overcome this apparent split, this apparent dichotomy. And it's just because the 2 of you have different ways of looking at something. So with a little bit of work, a little bit more effort, right? This can really grow and flourish and thrive. You got that 8 of Pentacles. This is good. This is seeing something in a different way. This is appreciating both ways of looking at it and saying with this united perspective almost, right? This more wholesome view of things, this more holistic look at the situation. We know what to do. We know how to make it work, right? And all these things, kind of finding a different way to communicate, I think, right? Not expecting anyone else to see things the way we see them, not expecting anyone else to communicate the same way that you do. Everyone's got their own love language, right? That's a thing, I think. This is a very good confirmation card. This is telling me that it is going to work, right? It is going to work. I like it. We're going to do an extended reading. Taurus, if you want to stick around, click on the link in the corner. That'll give you access to all of the extended readings, not just for Taurus, but for every sign. You can cross-watch. Check your other placements. I'm here every day from 6 to 8 a.m. Chicago time. Come back and see me again tomorrow. All right. The readings for Taurus specifically are every Monday and every Friday, but you can come back every day. All right. There's plenty of room here. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. All right. Totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.